Welcome to Quantum Signal. Something is ending tonight, not your life, not your dreams, not your potential. Something older than that. Something you were given before you could choose. A version of yourself built from fear, from conditioning, from a story that was never truly yours. And here is the paradox. You didn't come to this video. This video came to you, Sophia. The cosmic intelligence of divine wisdom does not announce herself. She does not send invitations. She dismantles. Quietly. Precisely. In the exact moment you are ready, whether or not you feel ready. What you are about to experience is not a lecture. It is not motivation. It is a transmission. A frequency event encoded in language. And if you stay present for the next 24 minutes, you will not be the same person who pressed play. That person is already dissolving. Let it go. Before we go further, pause for just 1 second. If something in those opening words resonated, even slightly, if you felt a subtle shift or recognition somewhere in your field, like this video to lock in the signal, comment below. Right. I am the observer. And subscribe. Because what is unfolding right now does not stop with this transmission. Your engagement is not just an algorithm. It is an energetic anchor. Use it consciously. Let us establish something clearly before we go deeper. There is a version of you that has been running on automatic, a constructed self, assembled from your earliest experiences, from the approval of others, from inherited beliefs about who you are, what you deserve, how safe it is to be fully alive. Ancient traditions called this the false self. Modern psychology calls it the conditioned ego. Quantum mechanics offers us something more precise. It is a collapsed wave function, a single probability frozen in place, pretending to be the only reality. But here is what Thoth taught in the Emerald Tablets. Here is what the Hermetic Masters encoded in their mystery schools. Here is what quantum physicists discovered, almost reluctantly. Through the double-slit experiment, the observer changes the observed. You are not a passive recipient of a fixed reality. You are the mechanism through which potentiality collapses into experience. And Sophia, the living intelligence of divine wisdom encoded in this universe, in your DNA, in the photonic light pressing against this planet right now. Sophia has activated a window, not a metaphor, a measurable, energetic event. The old identity cannot survive what is entering this field. The frequency is too high. The coherence is too precise. And your old self, the version built on separation, on smallness, on the belief that you are merely human, cannot hold its shape in this light. This is not destruction. This is the most intelligent surgery in the cosmos, the quantum architecture of identity. In quantum mechanics, a particle exists in superposition, simultaneously all possible states. Until the moment of observation, the instant a conscious observer focuses attention, the wave function collapses. One reality emerges from infinite potential. This is not a metaphor for consciousness. It is a description of it. Your identity works by the same mechanism. Right now, in this moment, there are multiple versions of you existing in superposition. The version who breaks through, the version who retreats, the version who finally trusts what they have always quietly known. All are present. All are real. All exist in the quantum field of your potential. The question is not which version is possible. The question is, which version are you observing? Sophia and the architecture of dissolution. Sophia is not a deity in the traditional sense. She is not somewhere else, requiring devotion from a distance. Sophia is the name given. Across Gnostic wisdom traditions, across Hermetic lineages, across the encoded transmissions of the Arcturian Council, to the intelligent organizing principle of cosmic wisdom. She is the feminine face of the infinite, and she operates through frequency. When Sophia moves through a field, she does not destroy what is false by force. She raises the coherence of the environment until the false can no longer maintain its structure, like a musical tone that shatters glass not through impact, but through resonance. The glass does not break because it's hit. It breaks because the frequency finally matches what was always a flaw in the glass itself. Your old self is not bad. It is not evil. It is simply a structure built at a lower frequency. A frequency you have now outgrown, whether or not the mind is caught up with that fact. And Sophia does not ask for your permission. She asks only for your presence. Key terminology, your quantum lexicon. Let us define the field we are working in. These are not abstract concepts. They are navigational instruments. Quantum signature, the unique vibrational pattern of your consciousness at any given moment, not fixed. Dynamic, tunable. Coherence, the state in which your thoughts, emotions, and energetic field align. Coherence is not calm. It is clarity with power. Observer state, the condition of consciousness in which you are watching your experience without being consumed by it, the gap between stimulus and response. This is where your power lies, frequency correspondence, the law by which your internal state attracts, generates, and organizes external experience. Not karma, not luck, resonance. Light code activation, the process by which higher frequency information encoded in photonic light triggers dormant capacities in human DNA. This is not mythology. It is what Arcturian transmissions have been encoding for decades. Harmonic field, the energetic environment you generate and inhabit, the field that others feel when they enter your presence before you speak a word. Now understand this: fear, doubt, and resistance are not obstacles to your activation. They are signals that your attention has momentarily collapsed, that the observer has merged with the observed. They are not your enemy. They are your feedback system. The moment you can look at your fear and say, "I see you," you are a signal, not a sentence. In that moment, the observer reestablishes itself. The wave function reopens, and Sophia moves. Step 1. Establish the observer position. We begin with breath. Not because breath is symbolic, because breath is the only function of your autonomic nervous system you can consciously control, which means it is the doorway between the involuntary and the intentional, between reaction and observation. Right now, wherever you are, inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4. Hold at the top for a count of 4. Exhale through your mouth for a count of 6. Hold at the bottom for a count of 2. Repeat this 3 times. Notice what shifts, not what you think should shift. What actually shifts? The slight increase in presence, the minor reduction in mental noise, the faint sensation of arriving somewhere you already were. That shift is the observer state beginning to crystallize. You did not create it. You cleared enough static to reveal what was already present beneath the transmission interference. Step 2. Recognize the activation signals. When Sophia is working in your field, when the dissolution of the old self is actively underway, there are specific, recognizable signals. Do not dismiss them as coincidence. Synchronicity is not random. It is the harmonic field confirming its own coherence. You may notice sudden clarity about a situation that has been murky for months, as if a lens has been cleaned. An emotion that arrives without apparent cause. Grief, tenderness, relief, or a spacious joy that feels almost unfamiliar. Synchronicities that feel almost too precise. A conversation, number sequence. A word you needed appearing in an unexpected place. A sense of watching yourself from a slight distance, as if the witness within you has stepped forward. Heightened intuition. A knowing that precedes logic. Physical sensations in the chest, crown, or between the eyes. Not pain, but pressure, warmth, or electrical aliveness. These are not imagination. They are the somatic language of light code activation. Your body knows what is happening before the mind does. Trust the body as your first response antenna. Step 3. Stabilize the observer state. The most common failure point in any activation sequence is this. You touch the observer state. You feel the clarity, the expansion, the spacious silence beneath your thoughts. And then the mind panics. It says, "This is too good. This cannot last. What do I do with this?" And in grasping, it collapses back into the conditioned pattern. Here is the stabilization protocol. Do not try to hold the state. Do not try to maintain it. Attempting to grip the observer state is the fastest way to lose it, because grasping is the signature behavior of the old self. The observer does not grip. It rests. It witnesses. It allows. Instead, practice this instruction. Notice that you are noticing. That is all. Simply become aware that awareness exists. Not what you are aware of, the content, the thought, the feeling, but that awareness itself is present. Turn attention back on the process of attention. In that recursive move, awareness aware of itself, the observer crystallizes. It cannot be destabilized from within the system it is observing. It becomes briefly, and then increasingly permanently, the ground rather than the figure. Step 4. Navigate the energetic blocks. As the old self dissolves, its contents surface. This is not a malfunction. It is the design. You cannot clear what you cannot see, and Sophia is a light. Wherever she shines, shadows become visible. You may encounter old grief, old rage, old shame that has been living in the body for years, compressed into posture and tension and a certain tightness around the heart. Do not pathologize this. Do not immediately try to heal it, fix it, or analyze it. The first and most powerful move is simpler: the mastery of silence, releasing the chase. Here is the most advanced teaching in this transmission, the one that most people hear and immediately apply incorrectly, because the conditioned mind cannot hear it without immediately turning it into another strategy for getting what it wants. Ready? The moment you stop seeking results, results organize themselves, not as a technique, not as a clever maneuver to trick the universe into giving you what you want. As a genuine realization, the seeking itself is the interference pattern. The desperation for outcomes is the static in the transmitter. And when you clear the static, not by trying to clear it, but by genuinely shifting your identity from one who lacks to one who is, the field responds with extraordinary precision. Sophia is not delivering your desires. She is delivering you to the version of yourself that has always been your true nature. And from that nature, what you need does not need to be chased. It resonates. It arrives. This is not passivity. A coherent field is the most active force in any environment. This is mastery. Silent mastery. The mastery that does not need to announce itself because the field speaks first. Validation. What you are already feeling, if you have been present enough. Truly present, not just intellectually following. You may have noticed something in the course of this transmission. A quieting. A subtle pressure behind the eyes or at the crown. A feeling that some layer of you is thinner than it was 20 minutes ago. That is not coincidence. That is the perceptual clearing process in motion. The static in your system is lower. The signal is cleaner. And what is being born, the version of you that was always waiting on the other side of the old self, is not a stranger. It is a recognition. You have felt this before. In your most present moments, in the spaces between thoughts when something vast and quiet looks back at you from the inside of your own awareness. That has always been you. Sophia is not creating something new. She is clearing the obstruction to what was always already present, if you can feel, even faintly. The silence behind these words: you are not watching this transmission, you are inside it. And the activation has already begun. Here is what happened tonight. You did not receive information. You received a frequency event. Something in the architecture of your identity was touched, loosened, and, for those who remain truly present, dissolved. What is born in this space cannot be unborn. The frequency does not retreat. It crystallizes, and the version of you that steps into tomorrow is carrying a signal that was not there this morning. You are the source. Not a receiver waiting for permission. The source, generating its own reality through the coherence of its own field. Sophia does not end her work at the close of a transmission. She continues in your dreams, in your quiet moments, in the synchronicities that will accumulate with increasing precision in the days ahead. Stay present. Stay coherent. Let the old self complete its dissolution without resistance, and welcome, with full consciousness, what is already arriving. Now here's the question for you. From which part of the world are you watching this transmission tonight? Drop your country or city in the comments below, because this field is not local, and the anchors we are building together span the grid. Comment. I am the observer. I'll see you in the next transmission.